Great NCAA tournaments and 2 Sweet 16s in the last 4 years. Courtney, you returned 8 players and 6 newcomers. With the 8 returning players, how different might this team look this year, and what are some of the similarities you might see?
Yeah, we do expect to have a different look. You don't lose 2 of the best post players the league has seen in a long time, and try to replace them immediately in the same way. So we have some posts that need to step in to that opportunity and play the game a little bit differently. They can extend the floor a little bit more. They can allow us to play a little more spacing. And then we bring back a lot of experienced guards, talented guard play, as well as what we brought in both through the portal and the freshman recruiting. So have a good guard group that has a lot of game pressure. Whereas our inside game, we've got to use our non-conference, which you see we scheduled to put them to the test early so that we can get as much game pressure on our youth as we can as we prepare for the gauntlet of the ACC.
Well, speaking of your schedule, non-conference consists of 7 NCAA tournament teams from a year ago. And why not? Let's just start off with South Carolina. So, from what I looked at, you got 3 of last year's, 3 of the 4 Final Four teams.
You bet. All on the road.
Why make it easy? Was there a strategic plan with this schedule, knowing what you had, or it's just, hey, let's play anybody and everybody?
No, I mean, it was pretty strategic. We knew that we have, that the ACC is so hard every year, right? And we knew that this was going to be a year where we were losing 60% or more of our productivity. And so you'd rather find out, instead of finding out late, I want to find out early, kind of what the traditional sort of the last year with the best. UCLA brought back a lot of their players. South Carolina brought back a lot of their players. And Texas brought back a lot of their players. So we kind of are going to go against, people that are really experienced and had a great year last year. And I think that will bode well as we continue to persistently prepare for what's going to be the ACC gauntlet.
Yeah, this is for the players. Several of the teams that have been interviewed today have mentioned they want North Carolina this year. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
That's good. We want everyone as well. So we're not running from any competition. We're trying to beat every team that comes in our way to get to the national championship. So that's always the goal every year.
Hey Courtney, I think anyone who's followed this program for the past few years can see that you've been trying to build depth with your roster building, and it has been a problem in the past. Do you feel like this group is the group that, say, you're in a Sweet 16 game, you could go 10 deep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in the past we've had incredible consistency, right? We've had reliability in that kind of top six or so when you're healthy, top 7 or 8. This group has a little bit people that are coming in that have way more availability. And what we're building now is reliability from those available players, right? The more reliable our available guys are, the deeper you are. Otherwise, you just have a lot of talent, right? And the only way we're going to do that is, like we said, with our non-conference schedule. Multiple mid-majors have won a tournament game in the NCAA tournament. So they're not just tournament teams, they're advancing into tournament teams. And these 2 have a lot of reliability. They're surrounded by a lot of talent, but we've got to gain that reliability, which the only thing that you can do that is with game pressure.
You guys went against Duke in the Sweet 16 last year. What are some challenges that they presented to you guys this year, and then how do you guys plan to overcome them?
I mean, Duke is in February, right? So I'll know a lot more about our team and a lot more about their team in February, but we have great respect for what Duke is doing, what they've done, who they've been over their duration of their program. Elite defensively, they've got great length and speed, well coached. That it's that rivalry that matters so much internationally, quite frankly. Like NC State, these are 3 teams that are 3 great examples, all 3 hosted in the NCAA tournament. I mean, they're great examples for women's basketball and the support that their communities give them. And so I'll know more of the nuance once we see who they have and who we have and how reliable our pieces become. But truthfully, I don't know enough about that yet.
Steve with Greenville Sports Media. Coach, this question is for you. You've lost a couple of key seniors last year. Who's stepped up this year into those leadership roles?
Well, we just finished our 2nd week of kind of the 20 hours, right? And although we've been on campus in the summer we were training, we take our development inside our roster really seriously. So we use a lot of time to develop the pieces so that they're better. And we kind of, the 20 hours starts the build towards competitive play. And so there's a lot I still don't know. There's a lot we're still getting better at. But what I'll tell you is from what we had from week 1 to where we are in week 2, I'm sure I've seen more improvement week to week. That also means, long way to go, right? But, so this group has really been shown that they can concentrate, they have competitive character, and that they're connected. And these two have been part of winning, right? And so they have a standard that they are bringing people to. But it's a really fun team to coach because I just have more options to Michael's point than I've had before. And it will be even more fun when 5 really step out and say that we're the first group.
Hey, Courtney. Obviously, big loss with Maria. What were the areas of Blanca and Sierra's games that prevented them from getting more playing time last season, other than Maria being there?
Yeah.
And what growth have you seen where they might be able to step into that role?
Yeah. Sometimes it's less what the other group, what they are or aren't doing, as much as it is who's in that spot and what they are doing, right? And so you liken it to, was it what Lainey Grant last year wasn't doing, or was what Reniya and India were doing, right? And so I think when you really come down to it, Alyssa and Maria were 2 of the elite post players in our league, and so there's only so many minutes to be had, right? And then there's injuries, there's consistencies, there's concentration, there's all different things that freshmen are trying to navigate at an elite level and an elite pace. And so depending on what week we're talking about, I don't know where we were in that progression, but they'll have a lot more opportunity and they're more ready now than they were a year ago. That's our job.
India, I know it's October, and I'm looking well into February. But last week, when it was announced, and it speaks to the rivalry with Duke, that you guys were going to be on ABC. What did it mean to you and your teammates that we're going to be, all eyes of America is going to be on this game because of what this rivalry is?
Yeah, that rivalry means so much to us. For it to be on national television, it doesn't make it even bigger. Like, it's already really big for us to play that game. Every time we play them, it's such a great competition. And sometimes it's not fun, but the competition is what we love, and we always love to come out on top. So that's what we want to do.
Reniya, much has been made about what you lost from last year. However, you do bring in 6 highly talented newcomers. Who's made the biggest impression on you so far?
Wow. Okay. Talia Henderson, she's a sleeper.
Why?
She goes extremely hard. Every possession, every practice, whatever it is, she's giving 110% every time. And I think because she's a hard worker, I love players who just work hard every time. And she's a sleeper. And so the first impression was great. And so I'm really excited to play with her on the court.
India, what about you?
I know they all bring something different. Yeah, I'll say Nyla Harris, just because the leadership that she brings in, her vocal leadership, I really look up to. And I think she just has a lot to contribute, a lot to show for this coming year. And I'm glad she's here.
Courtney, we talked about this for year 7 for you. So you've obviously been around a lot of these coaches in this league. What makes the coaches in this league so special?
It's a great question, Christy. I think one of the things is their consistency. When I look at across the kind of Power 4, I look at our conference and there's just no one I'm like, oh, thank God, it's that week where I get to play so-and-so. I need a break, or I need our guys to be able to give a break. There's just no weak link, right? And every team is going to have every league's going to have elite teams, right? That are talked about and showcased and are carrying in some way. But we just don't have a weak link, right? And I think that's pretty remarkable in an 18-team conference. And so I love that part. I think we all are kind of authentically ourselves, and it fits the university in some unique way, right? Like I sort of belong at the University of North Carolina. It's just how it is, right? And I think that's been across the board. I think when you think about the personalities and the schools and fan bases and teams, they're reflected in their coaches in a really cool way.
Ladies, for both of you, there's a lot of tradition in this conference. A lot of great players have passed through these gymnasiums. Is there someone that you looked up to when you were young? Or maybe someone that you maybe try to emulate their game now?
For me, I look up towards Jackie Young, especially how she's playing right now in the playoffs, just playing on both sides of the ball, how versatile she is, how she cuts with pace, and yeah, how she's able to affect the game on multiple levels. Yeah, and is just a great playmaker as well. I think for me, I would say Scotty Diggins. I love how passionate she is about the game and her ability to score and to just get in that on defense. Like, I love that. So definitely.
Courtney, women's basketball has grown so much in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of new fans.
Yeah.
What's that message to them beyond what took you so long?
Oh man, I think one of them is like, bring a friend. Because I say this when I was building the fan base at Carolina, just come once, just do that, and then the rest will take care of itself. And you've seen, because you call a handful of our games, it's like, the place is on fire, it's hard to get a ticket, it's hard to get seats. And I think that's for women's basketball as a whole, right? Just give it a chance, go to a W game, just see if you like it, right? Bring friends. That's been, I think that people will be pleased, this is a really high level. These guys are playing at a really high level.
Ladies, you've played in your facility now when it is, I mean, one of the loudest environments I've been in. I couldn't hear in my headset. What makes your facility so unique on game day?
Wow. Oh, okay. I would say the fans, actually. I think it's so many different people who come to watch us play, and they all use their voice in a unique way. And I love our fans. Like, we'll just be walking on Franklin and be like, hey, oh my gosh, we're the basketball team. Like, it's such an engaged community, and I love that about Carmichael. Yeah, I would have to piggyback off of Reniya. The support that they give us is on and off the court, from our donors to our students to the people that we just meet from seeing them so often in the crowds. They just make the environment something that, like, I love to play in.
I'll tell a story about that. There was a guy who came in as a new donor to our program, and he circled up at practice, and he said, you know, my wife and I got season tickets, and then she sort of fell ill with some Alzheimer's and started to not know who he was, right? And he said it very genuinely, and he says, but she knew who Reniya Kelly was, right? And I think that sort of characterizes the fans. Like, they are rooting not just for Carolina, they are rooting for the success of the people that are wearing the jersey, right? And I think that passion is felt.
I had other questions, but I can't follow that. So, I'm going to ask all 3 of you this question. Any will start with you. But when I ask this question, just the one word answer. ACC women's basketball means what?
Legacy. Excellence.
You're not gonna believe me, but they took both of mine. That's how mine go through.
That's teamwork.
That is, oh my gosh, that means we're doing something right. ACC basketball, that's a lot of things. I would say we said ACC basketball is.
You did Harvard's degree.
Yeah, there you go. ACC basketball is unmatched.
North Carolina, good luck this season, and thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.